Thank you for joining us today. I'm Battalion Chief John Lipsack with Charlotte Fire. I run the Public Information Division. Charlotte has potential to experience a significant snowstorm and ice event, possibly one of the most impactful winter storms that this area has seen in several years. Because of that, it's critical that residents take steps now to prepare before conditions begin to deteriorate. Over the next several days, you will continue to hear a consistent message from city and county officials. Make sure you have working smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors in your home. And once winter weather begins, stay off the roads. Unfortunately, this message carries weight today. Early this morning, Charlotte Fire experienced a fatal fire in the south end of town, where no working smoke alarms were present. Situations like this underscore how important these simple safety measures are when it comes to this type of event. Today, we are joined by several community partners who will share important information on staying safe during this storm and how the City of Charlotte and Mecklenburg County is prepared. Joining us today are Division Chief White Graham, Charlotte Fire and Director of Charlotte-Mecklenburg Emergency Management, Karen Pelletier, Director of Community Support, Mecklenburg County, Stephen Bolt, Superintendent of Streets, Charlotte DOT. Chief Graham.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's good to see all the media here. Clearly, you're here because this is a significant storm, or we think it's going to be a significant storm. After Helene, we don't take anything for granted. And so when all the meteorologists that we talk to, and there's quite a few of them, have nothing good to say about the storm, and we are very concerned. And so first and foremost, I just want to remind, I really need everybody to understand that starting tomorrow afternoon, we're going to see deteriorating conditions in the Charlotte region across the state of North Carolina, and we need people to stay off the roads. This is going to be a multi-day event. Monday, the roads we expect to be terrible, but Charlotte will be fine. We'll be fine. We just have to get through the next couple days. What we don't want to have is anybody get killed or seriously injured during the storm. And so that's why we're asking everybody to stay home. The other thing to remember, this is not a snowstorm. This is not a storm where you want to go out and play, have your kids outside. We need people to stay off the roads or anywhere near the roads because we have to have our firefighters, our police officers, our paramedics, our nurses, all the key staff that have to go to and from work, that they're able to travel. Also, for those of you that were here in 2002, that was, up until that time, the busiest day the Charlotte Fire Department has ever experienced. So with very serious winter conditions, we're going to see an increase in fires, we're going to see an increase in rescues, we're going to see an increase in emergency services vehicles, and CMPD is well represented here today. And for this storm, we will be working very closely with CMPD, medic, and everybody else. But we have to allow them to do their work. The Emergency Operations Center will activate tomorrow afternoon, Saturday afternoon, based on the current forecast. But to be honest, we've been very busy all week, and all the emergency management staff, along with all of our partners, have been doing just terrific work. A state of emergency has been signed by several of our chief elected officials, and the rest are working to get those signatures. A state of emergency will go into effect tomorrow at noon, and it will open up the emergency operations plan, which is our plan here in Charlotte-Mecklenburg County on how we bring all of government to bear on our most challenging issues. It will also prohibit price gouging, so I want to make sure that that's out there. Of course, I think the governor also does that, but price gouging is always an issue during storms, and we want to make sure that does not happen. And it will allow us to upstaff our public safety and essential employees. The Mecklenburg County Extreme Cold Weather Plan is also in effect, and warming shelters are open across the county to support residents. Karen Pelletier, our wonderful partner from the county, will be speaking about that next. Charlotte Fire is increasing staffing, as we've already indicated, and we are actively preparing. We are prepared to open shelters along with our partners across the county if needed. Supporting our residents in Mecklenburg County. What we need people to do is make a plan. I think I saw one of our meteorologists earlier talking about this is not a bread and milk type situation. This is an actual preparation time. And so we need you to make sure you have everything you need and that you're checking with your family and your neighbors. And so this is always a good time to check with your neighbors. Prepare for icing below freezing temperatures for several days. And so what happens in Charlotte, and we've seen this before, we start having a lot of burst pipes across the city. 311 will be open over the weekend, and so we want to make sure that people have a place to call for non-emergency incidents that they may need assistance from the government with. Build a kit, make sure you have enough food and water, medications, and essentials for your family. Have emergency supplies in your home, including flashlights, batteries, battery-operated radios, medical supplies, non-perishable foods, and a fully charged cell phone. Gather supplies before the winter weather begins. Travel is going to be difficult. Stay tuned to your local news, and usually I tell people I have 2 or 3 ways of getting news. I know we have radio in here, we have television, but we encourage everybody to have an emergency radio, okay? So the internet's probably going to be down. A lot of the power outages are going to be down. And with that, you're going to have down power lines. Stay away from any loud down power lines. Stay away from all power lines that are down. If it's down, assume that it's alive. We don't want anybody to get anywhere close to a power line. Make sure if you have generators, you know how to operate them, and that they are not inside and at least 20 feet away from any structure. Make sure you have working carbon monoxide detectors and smoke alarms. And make sure that if you're doing any kind of cooking on something that you don't typically cook, you don't want to bring inside. And so we've done this a long time, right? So I remember major ice storms in Charlotte, and I've seen folks bring in charcoal stoves. I've seen folks bring in turkey fryers. I've seen folks use drywall heaters to try to heat their homes. That is not a good idea. Make sure you know what you're doing if you run out of power. And always, we talked about 311, and we definitely want to make sure that people sign up for Charlotte-Mecklenburg alerts, and you get that at charlottemeckalerts.org. And that is all I've got for today. I cannot reiterate enough, we're going to be fine, but we need people to listen, and please stay off the roads. Take care of yourself, your neighbors, and your family. So Karen, next.
Thank you, Chief Graham. So my name is Karen Pelletier. I am the Division Director of Housing Innovation and Stabilization Services with Mecklenburg County. And I appreciate everyone's curiosity here to learn more about what we are doing to help serve our most vulnerable neighbors in Charlotte-Mecklenburg, and those are our individuals that we have living unsheltered throughout our county. And so Mecklenburg County has a strong history of partnership with the folks here and with our emergency shelter providers and our homeless response team. And so like any other day, we are always working to ensure that our street outreach teams and our emergency shelters have what they need to help people who are living unsheltered and who are interested in shelter to come inside. This is definitely a unique situation where we are engaging more often, more frequently, and really trying to determine how many people we believe and how we look to expand capacity at our shelters, and really working with our street outreach teams to really work to canvass our community and to ensure, again, those who want shelter are able to access an available shelter bed. So I'm really proud of the work of our partners with Roof Above, Salvation Army, My Sister's House, and Hearts for the Invisible, who are key partners on really ensuring that people have safe access to a warm bed throughout this winter event. We will be working with street outreach teams that are going out, like I said, sharing that, and then working to ensure that as people seek shelter at either our men's shelter or our women and family shelter, that they are able to have that shelter space. And that is all I had for today.
Next up, we have Stephen Bolt from Charlotte DOT.
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Stephen Bolt. I am the street superintendent for the Charlotte Department of Transportation. So as CDOT, just like everyone else, we're anticipating a significant icing event over the weekend that is going to carry into early next week for its impacts. So we have been proactively pre-treating streets yesterday, today, and through tomorrow until the event starts. So we're doing everything we can to prepare for this on the street side. We are also working in coordination with NCDOT, who are our partners responsible for treating interstates and state routes. At that time that the pre-treatment stops, we will transition into treating and fighting the ice potential that we're seeing. So our crews will come on tomorrow at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they will make that transition in the afternoon to start the process for fighting the ice. We will stay on shift until we have completely removed the ice from our primaries and our collector streets, and then focus on getting into neighborhoods as we can. We ask that the public stays at home and allows us as transportation professionals to do our work and allow the first responders to do their work as well safely and effectively. We have treated almost 1,300 miles with Brian at this point. We're going to continue treating to tomorrow to make sure we get good coverage. You'll see us out there. You'll see NCDOT out there. When we transition to our B condition tomorrow around 1 o'clock, you should anticipate seeing the salt trucks out. We'll start applying material once the liquid starts coming down and start that fight, starting with our priorities. So we rely on a priority system to guide our event. And so priority ones are major thoroughfares, moving down to minor thoroughfares, major collectors, minor collectors such as neighborhood collectors, and then in the neighborhoods. It is a lot of mileage, so we treat about 2,200 lane miles for this event, and it's probably going to take multiple cycles to fight this because it is low temperatures. But we've got our toolbox in place and we're ready to respond. Our crews are also creating extra signal assemblies so that we can be prepared if this ice comes, because it's one of our biggest concerns is that not only that our infrastructure and the ice will combat each other and potentially fail from the weight, but also all the trees that we're dealing with in Tree City are going to potentially create issues and take out our signal infrastructure. I can't stress enough, please stay home if you can. But if you have to go out, if you encounter a dark signal, understand that is a always stop condition. Please take your time, be safe. You also, please call 911 for any down lines. Don't try to cross them. Don't try to go under them. Don't approach them. You should anticipate that it is an extreme danger and stay back and call the proper authorities. They will respond. We will respond. We can't come out until that power has been safely removed. And so once that's done, we'll come restore our signals. We've got crews on call for that, so we are ready and willing to jump into action. So thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you to our community partners for being here and sharing this important information. Charlotte is prepared, but preparation doesn't stop with the city. The time is now to act before the storm arrives. Taking steps today can make a real difference in keeping yourself, your family, and your neighbors safe. Please take a moment to check your smoke alarms and carbon monoxide alarms and make sure they are working. These devices save lives.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.